back with you. It's late night radio, still of the night, when the outside cools down as we head into summer for the season here as it comes to a close, and that pavement on the streets ever so jet black. But it starts to cool down from the warm days of the sunlight hitting it, beating down on it. Traffic lights as they are like beacons in the sky. Welcome back. Here we are, and we're just kind of hanging out and chatting tonight and looking at some things. And we were talking about some movies earlier, the Nicolas Cage movies, and how crazy they are. I'm looking forward to it, very much so, to this new movie he's got coming out called Willy's Wonderland. It looks absolutely crazy, as I am a big fan of kind of his oddball films, and we were talking about them, and of course Mandy, I think, would be the top one that's pretty out there, but the Color Out of Space one is pretty bizarre as well. So my buddy there, Joe, if you're listening, and if you handled Mandy okay, check out Color Out of Space. That one's pretty weird. H.P. Lovecraft kind of a film. Very, very bizarre. Another one of those Nicolas Cage completely crazy roles. But, earlier I was looking at some stuff on online, and I came across a company here, and if you guys know me, you guys know I love all those old cool movies from the days of gone past. But one of them, of course, for me, is the movie Cobra with Sylvester Stallone. Cobra is a heck of a movie. If you if you haven't seen it, it's one of those 80s kind of cop movies that came out. I feel like a lot of those movies start stemming from Dirty Harry, and with Dirty Harry, it was like you had all these other cop movies coming out. Bullet, even though Bullet is a very much of a before Dirty Harry, I think Bullet came out in 1968 with Steve McQueen. But you didn't have too many other ones. You had there's another one that was, some people consider it a precursor to Dirty Harry, which is Coogan's Bluff with Clint Eastwood as well. But Cobra was kind of Cobra actually came out from, it was actually a script written for, it was actually, how would you say, Stallone's kind of reaction to Beverly Hills Cop. Because he was actually offered Beverly Hills Cop, but Stallone didn't want to do it because he kind of, I think, and I'm just kind of spitballing the facts here. He didn't like how much levity was in the film, so he wanted it to be a little bit more, I guess, maybe darker, or not so much of a comedic side to it. So we get Cobra. And Cobra, without a doubt, if you watch the first part of the movie, the whole first part of the movie is very dark. It's a really seriously dark film. But then the last bit of it, and actually Stallone has said this, the last bit of it turns more into your classic 80s shoot-'em-up action cheese movie. But anyway, in it, he's got these 1911 grips that are on his gun. And they are just super cool because they're white ivory, or ivory-style grips, and it's my favorite style of grips. And, again, I like my love for different types of firearms stems from movies. Really, without the movie Love, I don't think I'd be as into it as I am, because really it's just for me, like, why would you want a 44 Magnum pistol, revolver, whatever? For me, it's because Dirty Harry, or all the 1911s, because all the cool movies that features 1911s, something like that. So that's my attraction to it. That's about it. But in it, he's got these white ivory grips, and they got this cobra head on it. It's really cool because of the way it kind of sits. The cobra, is on the grip widthwise, and it's just a big cobra head. You have the big hood over the cobra and everything. It's got its tongue and red eyes and stuff like that sticking out of it, and they're really cool. They've been floating around here and there. I've seen a lot of photos of somewhat similar copies of the grips. Sid Ryan was another guy that was offering them. I think what he was doing, I know that's what he was doing. He claims it in his website. He engraved them or cut the image in by hand, assuming, or something, on the grips himself and painted them. His grips are like $75 plus shipping, I think, or maybe he ships them for free. I'm not sure, but they're not cheap. And honestly, if he's sitting there engraving these things by hand and coloring them, $75 is kind of cheap. I don't know if I could do it for $75 to sit there and engrave something like that and then sell it for that kind of low money. But there again, you got to look at the market and what people are willing to pay and all that. So I had recently came across a set from Thailand, and they are doing the grips to an exact T. It looks exactly like it does in the movie. At least the photographs do. So I'm just going by the photographs and thinking, well, that's pretty close. It's pretty spot on. The colors are right. The colors don't look off. And no disrespect to Mr. Ryan, but his grips, the color, it looks off. I mean, he didn't have the color right. So these grips from Thailand appear to have the color and everything right. Now, I don't know. They're $50. I took a shot, ordered them. I'll do a video with them and check them out when I get them. But it's going to be a while before I get them. But I don't know. I really, what I'm worried is, I don't know if this is just a sticker that you just kind of plastered on it, and how does this image hold up with your obviously it's part of the grip, the handle of the gun, and that's what you're holding, and if you're kind of wearing it on it and everything like that, what's going to happen to this image? Should I, when I get the grips, put a coating of shellac or something over it to help preserve it or protect it? Or my other concern with doing that is, would that affect the image with the chemicals in that spray or whatever? Would it do something to the image? I'd have to get it and look at it and see how exactly they got the image on there, because with the Sid Ryan grips, you know exactly what he did. He engraved it and he painted it. So the coloring is there. So there's no way. The only thing I guess he could do, which I've actually contacted him about this, I asked him what would happen if oil got on it, like, say, gun oil. And he actually did respond and said that the coloring would come off. So, it's always a concern with mine. For me, like a lot of even the wood grips that I got, the old school ones, for those of you that maybe don't know, but you probably do know, that excessive oil on your beautiful grips, especially I like the medium tone to lighter colored grips, they will darken. The oil will darken the grains of the wood, and pretty soon all you'll have is just this really dark set that really doesn't have much character or look to it anymore. And I'm a big stickler on, I don't like all black guns or all that. I love the offset of either wood or the polished steel, and then the wood grain or just something to offset it. I don't like the whole all black look. It just kind of, it's not really my taste. I mean, unless it's part of a film that a movie that I just absolutely love or something like that. So, but yeah, I'm kind of curious on these grips. They just start popping up. They're a new thing, and and I've actually gotten quite a few other grips and stuff from Thailand. I think they're doing a really good job with a lot of those, and they more so with the Smith and Wesson revolver grips. They have been doing a lot of copies of the end frame grips and whatnot. So I think some of you listeners out there have actually done that, or you bought some of those the Thailand copy or whatnot, because you look at what they want for the real ones, and really, unless you're sitting there really like getting really crazy about how much closer or what, all the details and everything like that, unless you're that crazy about it, why would you spend over $200, in some cases $300, for, like, say, a set of end frame grips for your Dirty Harry gun, when you could just get a set of Thailand made ones for like $60, which I've seen. And I have noticed too, they've been doing those finger grooved combat style grips for the end frame. Those really weird looking ones. I've heard them called all kinds of different, like, nicknames and stuff like that, but they're just smooth. They wrap around. They're for the round butt frame. And they got finger grooves on the front. Those have been going for some really seriously stupid money. Although I've seen some now from Thailand that they were offering. I was actually thinking about getting a set just to put the ones that I have on mine away, because they're worth so much money. I hate to jack them up or beat them up at the range or whatnot. So, but I have thought about that. But those, like I said, back to those, a lot of those Thailand copy grips are not bad at all. So I've also noticed that some of these companies are doing copies of the Coke bottle grips, which is kind of, I love when they do stuff like that, where they take something that was so like evasive and it's so pricey and all that, and then somebody will finally get a copy of them. They'll finally get out, somebody will start copying them and making reproductions of them, and then that just satisfies the market. I love when that kind of stuff happens. Like, for instance, with the old World War II 1911s, the war guns. Too bad it didn't continue on. Too bad it didn't flood the market like I was hoping it would, where they released them, the CMP, the Civilian Marksmanship Program, where even though the thing itself was totally refinished, I've seen them. I've seen a couple of them, a few of them, held them in my hand. They're not the same finish as the old original, like, farm fresh, bring back kind of stuff. But, they were still out there. They still existed. They still popped them on the market, and, it helped offset the market a little bit. Because if you guys, most of you that know me, I'm a really big stickler about just getting overcharged for stuff. And some of these guys are able to just throw out astronomical prices on things, and trying to hopefully like hook some sucker into it, and get them for it. Like, for instance, the Python. I was really happy to see Colt reintroduce the Python. I hope they reintroduce the Diamondback. That would be awesome, because I actually like I'm not the biggest fan of the revolvers, but I do like the Diamondback, mainly because why? Come on, guys and gals. Brannigan. Brannigan with John Wayne uses a Diamondback in it. And if you ever watch Brannigan, I mean, just watch the beginning of that movie. If that doesn't make you want a Diamondback, I mean, it's just the way they showcase that revolver and film it, it's amazing. So, but when they really re-released it, it's really nice to see that, everybody that wanted one or whatever, now they got the opportunity to get one. And that's also the thing is, once it starts calming down, I think, once Colt has got a few of them out there, just like handfuls of shipments and shipments of them out there all over the place, the prices will calm down. And because you got a big run for them, because the thing has been so out of reach for a lot of people for so many years. Now that it's kind of coming around again, I think people, it's just a little frenzy right now. But let the market saturate. Those will come around, and eventually, I guarantee you it, they will do the royal blue finish on one, and they will produce that because they already got the commercial copy of the 1911. It's actually rolled stamped Colt Custom on it. It's in royal blue. It's beautiful. I've never seen one up close yet. I've only seen the photos, but I'm telling you, I do want one. Hopefully I can get my hands on one at some point. But it's nice to see these things coming back around, and it gives people a chance to get it. So like back with the Python thing, I think the majority of the people wanted it because of the mystique of it, because also with The Walking Dead, which I never actually got into the series, but I do know that the main character is carrying a Python. And it's a stainless one or a nickel one at that, so even better with the market for that. And it's again, it's nice to see people are just kind of go, oh, okay, well, keep your old one that you want, a house payment for. I'll go and buy one of these new ones. So I like that kind of stuff because I feel like everybody deserves a chance to at least get something like that or obtain something like that they've always wanted. So. Again, like I'm just like randomly here looking around and on the auctions and stuff, and like, going back to the Smith & Wesson end frame grips, you got like these ones called Keith Brown, which I'm not too knowledgeable on who that is or what that is, but apparently they're really nice because the grips are $500. I mean, for Pete's sakes, you can buy the revolver for that, so it's kind of crazy to see some of these prices. Like that's why I'm a full supporter of these Thailand ones that are coming out, because it makes it available for people to be able to buy them and not pay such an arm and a leg for them. Actually, here's a pair of set of those combat ones that are round butt with the finger grooves that $160. Buy it now is the cheapest I've ever seen. I wonder what the catch is, really, to be honest. There's got to be a catch of why they're as cheap as they are. I'll bet you, I almost want to say, I'm scared to say, I wonder if those are actually, that's the other problem, is the people passing off those Thailand ones as the old originals or something like that. So, oh, right here. These are not factory grips. They're custom made. The screw is a little long, but will need to be trimmed. So there you go. Just right now, I was looking at that, and I just, I called it. There's no way that, something's wrong with it. So there you go. They weren't actually factory originals. So that's interesting. But at least the guy's honest about it, At least they're honest. They're not trying to, sell you something that it really isn't what it is. So, well, that's cool, though. I mean, at least they're putting them out there. They're available for a little less money. So, but yeah, it's been an interesting road, especially with everything that's happening as far as the hobby of shooting has definitely been put on hold for me because of the lack of ammunition and all that. That's all I really care about far as ammo. It's just the recreational, take it to the range and pop some targets around and stuff like that. But certainly not going to do that when there's nothing to get and the prices are just too stupid to justify going and doing that. I'd rather spend the money on more DVDs like I need anymore, but you can never have enough. And, more movies and stuff like that. In fact, let's see, I got a couple of cool movies coming in the mail. I will actually do some talks about those. And let me go ahead and see what, because I can't remember what I ordered. So I did order, even though I already have one that came in a 3-pack set, I did order the collector's edition of Cobra. Speaking of Cobra, it's by Scream Factory, which is usually good stuff. So I'm actually curious to see how much extra features there are, and what's in there and everything like that, and what it looks like. And a little fun fact for you guys, that we were just talking about Mandy. The guy that directed Mandy, his dad directed Cobra. So anyway, ordered that one. That's by Scream Factory or Shout Factory Studios. They've been doing a really good job of releasing a lot of cool old titles like that. And the other one I ordered on Blu-ray, which is another one that the Twilight Time had released it on Blu-ray, and people were paying like $100 or more for it, which is pretty ridiculous. Brannigan, speaking of all that, John Wayne Brannigan got re-released on Blu-ray again by a different company, and the company is called, I've got a lot of stuff from them, Kino Labor, or KL Studio Classics. They've been releasing stuff. If they do, little tip for you, if they do release something that you like or have an interest in and it just came out, buy it right away, because even their stuff is getting out of print and going up higher and higher in prices. I paid $20 for the Brannigan on Blu-ray. I just can't wait to see what that looks like. I did buy that one $20, but that beats the Twilight Times edition for $100. But I did notice some of their stuff is going up there too, a little higher priced things. So jump on stuff like that when you can. That's also why I jumped on the Scorpion releasing of Mechanic with Charles Bronson. That was another one that was Twilight Times, where it was like really ridiculous and expensive. The Scorpion released it, and of course the reversible slipcover, which reminds me of the old VHS cover. So check out those. They, whenever they do re-releasings of stuff, try to jump on it, because, like I said, they will go out of print. Another one that I kind of kicked myself for that was around, I'm a big Roy Scheider fan, so there was some that came around, 52 Pickup, Cohen and Tate, and The Last Embrace. Those, when they were kicked back out on Blu-ray for a while there, they were like $20, $25. Now they're well over $50 and hard to find now. So, again, I just kind of, slouched on that one. You snooze, you lose, or you can just pay the price. But I have a hard time paying those kind of prices. When it starts going to $50, I have a really hard time paying that. It has to be something I absolutely love for me to pay for that. Because I will just kind of justify, well, I'll just find a different copy of it or something like that. That's just the way I am with those. So I even have problems paying $30, but that's how it goes. Anyway, another one just to throw in as a bonus is Death Hunt with Charles Bronson, Lee Marvin. Death Hunt went ridiculous expensive on Blu-ray. So, and I remember when that came out on Blu-ray, it was like, oh, look, it's, $25-$30. I don't really want to pay that much for it. I got the DVD copy of it, but now look, it's $100. So thanks for tuning in, you guys. Have a restful night, and appreciate you coming around for Still of the Night.